All right, let's move ahead now. Breast milk is the first and most important primary source of nutrition for newborns. Mothers are advised to feed their babies exclusively for the first 6 months of life before introducing other foods. August is Breastfeeding Awareness Month, and this week is the World Breastfeeding Week. The theme for this year, Support Breastfeeding for a Healthier Planet, aims to call on governments and to protect and promote women's access to skilled breastfeeding counseling, which is a critical component of breastfeeding support. Well, joining me via Skype is a nurse and midwife and a lecturer at Lagos State University College of Medicine, Olajumoke Ujileye. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right. Now, the multiple indicator cluster survey disclosed that Nigeria's breastfeeding rate remains low overall, despite the number of benefits babies can get from breastfeeding. A lot of Nigerian mothers do not seem to key into this exclusive breastfeeding. For instance, I wonder what really is the challenge here.
All right, good morning. Thank you for having me again this morning. And it's such a joy and pleasure to experience another World Breastfeeding Week in 2020. And like you have rightly said, the theme is that we need to support breastfeeding for a healthier planet. You were very correct with your statistics that women have still not keyed into this message. And thankfully, WHO, UNICEF have identified, skilled health counseling as a missing gap. And until that can be sorted out, women and children are not going to be able to maximize the benefits that come with breastfeeding. So there are so many messages, there are so many benefits that women should understand. Not just women again, their support system, including the fathers to be, even the women living with them. Sometimes we have our sisters, we have our mothers, we have someone with us maybe in the immediate delivery period. And so everybody needs to get this message right. And thankfully, this year's World Breastfeeding Week is focusing on supporting women to breastfeed more. And the gap is skilled health counseling, which is the fault of the midwives, the nurses, and healthcare professionals to bring up their A game in ensuring that women get the right message.
Most pregnant mothers go for antenatal and the likes, all of that. These messages are supposed to be given while they go for all of that. Why really is that not happening?
All right. So you are very correct that this is a message that is passed, that is shared with women at these platforms. But we're saying that we are not doing enough. The message for this year is that healthcare professionals, including midwives, need to understand that women need to get this message in a different way. So, there is messaging system. And some people are super ready before they even get pregnant to breastfeed. Some women get this message during pregnancy. Some somehow do not get the message until they have their baby. And we are saying that babies should be breastfed even within the first hour of life. So we're telling healthcare providers to work on their skills. So of course, and this now comes with training. It's not enough for you to just tell a woman you need to breastfeed your baby. Breast milk contains, antibodies. It contains enzymes. It contains this. It's water. You don't just say it that way. You need to say it and come to the level the woman is at, so that she understands all the benefits, not just to herself, to her baby, and to the entire planet.
All right, so speaking about the benefits of breastfeeding, perhaps for those who are watching, you can just reel out the benefits for them to understand.
All right, so first of all, breastfeeding contains antioxidants, enzymes, antibodies that the baby needs. Nature is so kind. Nature is so kind, and I'm so happy when I see women who begin to, their breast milk begins to come even before they have their baby. And that first one is very important. And sometimes we find out that women throw it away. After expressing it, they throw it away, thinking that, oh no, this is not what the baby needs. And that is colostrum. that is loaded with so much of vitamins, antibodies, antioxidants that the baby needs to jumpstart life. So that's very important. Apart from that, it provides all the support, emotional, physical support. A lot happens between a mother and baby during the breastfeeding process. The skin to skin is very important. And that is something that every baby needs to jumpstart life. Breastfeeding helps the woman and prevents her from breast cancer, ovarian cancer, cardiovascular disease, and some other diseases that women need to understand. I can't be told that this is something, something so cheap, something so available, something that is 100% within my, my space to do, and I won't do it having known all these benefits. So women need to understand all these benefits. And for me, I think that the message even needs to come to women before they get pregnant. Because it's a whole psychological thing that you want to breastfeed a baby exclusively, morning, afternoon, night, for 24 hours for 6 months. It's a big deal. It's a big deal, and women need to be prepared.
All right.
Women come out of labor.
If I may interrupt your line of thoughts quickly for the challenge of time, how much role does nutrition play here? Because we see from the report as well that a majority of persons who are not able to breastfeed their babies exclusively for 6 months are those women in the north. And we know the security challenges across the north.
All right, so talking about people who are not able to breastfeed exclusively, when we say exclusively, we mean only breast milk for 6 months. That's what we are referring to, only breast milk for 6 months. So some of these people, once there's a missing link, once there's a gap in their support system, they begin to experience this. And what this breast milk does, again, if a woman understands that, for instance, it reduces obesity in children, because breast milk is so perfect in its constitution. It's so perfect. It reduces obesity, asthma, cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, because you are feeding the baby with exactly what the baby needs. Nothing more, nothing less, at the right temperature. So when women's access has been interrupted, maybe because of insecurity issues, they are not able to ask their questions, they begin to maybe have sore nipples, the baby is not latching on properly, and they just feel that no, the baby is not taking this thing, or there is really breast milk there, but they are not latching the baby properly, and the baby cries all the time. They begin to find alternative means. So what we are calling on the government is, one, invest on training, that our skilled health professionals needs to get the message right. Let's bring another message to them to push the message more, and of course promote women's access, protect their access to skilled health counseling.
Now I wonder how breastfeeding relates to ensuring a safe environment. Could you expatiate on that?
All right, so like we highlighted earlier, that breastfeeding is safe. It's 100% safe. First of all, it's safe, and it means the woman just has to get her baby, latch on properly, and they begin to, the feeding process continues. So there is no need to buy formulas. There's no need to buy, any kind of infant food or cereal or whatever, because this is what the baby needs from the first day of life to at least 6 months before you begin to introduce complementary feeds and all of that. So it's something sustainable. You can utilize the resources that you would have used for infant formulas and other food, pap, or whatever you may think of, and you just maximize the breastfeeding and reduce resources on other things. So that's what I'll say about that.
All right, if we have to come to Lagos, where everyone is so busy and you have more women who are in the workspace, waking up in the morning and all of that, what would be the advice for young women who are of the working age and who are getting really busy on a daily basis when they have children? How would they cope with the 6 months?
All right, so let me first of all say that it's very possible, it is achievable. I've seen top executives at any level who did exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months. Why did they have to do that? Because they realize the importance that they cannot trade. You cannot make up for a compromised nutrition. And talking about nutrition for an infant, it has a lot. It speaks so many years into the life of the child, even as an adult. So that's one thing that women need to first of all understand, and everyone around the woman, the dad, the mom, the sister, all the support person needs to realize that this woman needs to be on top of her game. So now bringing it to the workspace, first of all, we would encourage that institutions have favorable maternity policies. All right, that should be in place first of all. But there are so many things that can be done. So you can express your breast milk. So when we talk about exclusive breastfeeding, we are not saying your baby at the breast all the time. When your baby cannot be at the breast, feel free, feel comfortable to express your breast milk enough for the baby while you keep the baby at home and you are at the office. Some offices have crèche. They have, baby centers where you can keep all of this things. Either you come in with your own house help or assistant or something to help you there watching the baby, or some of these offices has this crèche that can manage your children. So these are things that can encourage a woman to bring her baby to the workplace or express. I have seen a top executive, someone very close to me that, takes breaks and goes into the bathroom, express, do the thing in a very tidy and neat manner.
Oh, she was making a very great point there. Now, when you get to the level of expressing it, everyone is concerned around the hygiene around it.
Absolutely, which
Because
was the point she was trying to make.
Exactly.
Because I was also going to talk about places where a lot of persons do not have access to how they can preserve
exactly.
the
refrigeration
yeah,
and all of that, and even warming
all
them.
of that. Okay, she's back now.
She's back now.
Okay, so talk to us about preservation, because that also seemed to be a challenge.
All right. So, well, from my own experience, the 2 times I had to breastfeed babies, I was always at work. Okay, so thankfully, I got the 16 weeks maternity leave. So that helped me. My baby was already 4 months, and I had learned all of these things from day one. I did not wait. I did not wait to be back at work to start expressing my breast milk. I started expressing my breast milk from about 6-8 weeks, trying my baby on cup and spoon and see how my baby takes that. And of course, I had also learned, apart from the fact that I'm a nurse and midwife, I had also learned how to preserve this hygiene and preservation. So there are breast milk bags, there are breast milk bottles, you can put all of these things and see, some women tell me that once they freeze their breast milk or they put it in the fridge, they cannot use it for their baby anymore. There is nothing wrong with it. It is just good and fine. In fact, what I do is, if it's coming from the fridge, I just put it on the table for it to just, come to room temperature, and I give my baby. Sometimes I don't even warm it. Okay, what do you say about people in very cold weathers who don't even, have access to hot things all of the time? So feel comfortable to put your breast milk in the fridge. Feel comfortable to put it in the freezer. It can stay there for days, and your baby can still take it. Just bring it out, let it thaw, and then ensure that you have used the best hygiene measures possible. Wash your hands and all of that. Even in this COVID-19, women can breastfeed their baby, even when they test positive to COVID-19.
All right, we have to leave you here now. Thank you so much, Olajumoke Ojeleye, for, I would say, the lecture and the enlightenment on this. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate you. Right.
So much to be learned.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like,
breastfeeding a baby? Is that what you're trying to do?
Well, no, it's just helping. Just helping.
Okay, I wanted you to remember